good morning, everyone. My name is Sarah Hagee, and I'm the Executive Director here with the Electrical Association of Philadelphia. Joining me this morning is my colleague, Matt Dybert, and I'm joined by our HiReli presenters, who we will introduce momentarily. If you've been here before, you know the drill. Just a few housekeeping items, of course. Your mics and cameras have been turned off for the session because we are recording it. You are welcome and encouraged to submit questions in the chat. Mike from HiReli will be facilitating answers real time. And as always, we will be sharing the recording of today's presentation as well as the contact information for our presenters. So with that, I'm thrilled to welcome our returning sponsor, HiReli, who is capping off our virtual coffee talk series for the season. I'm going to toss it over to Mike Smith, Director of Sales and Service, who will introduce Manoj, Chris, and Alex. Take it away, Mike. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Sarah, and good morning, everybody. Thank you for putting the time aside to sit down with us and review HiReli and our offerings. With us today is myself, Mike Smith, the Director of Sales and Service, Chris Mueller, Senior Sales Engineer, and as well Manoj Bunhu, the Manager of Customer Support, and Alex, who's kind of hanging in the back there, who's the Manager of Commercial Sales. He will be answering questions, so please, if anybody has any questions, submit them, and between himself and I, we will get them answered for you. All right, Chris. So today I'm going to talk a little about HiReli and HiReli Supply. We have a VAR, or value-added reseller division, which we call HiReli Supply. HiReli was established in 2001 as a manufacturer's representative. And what we do is we do some value-added reselling as well as electrical power, or electric equipment for power systems. A couple manufacturers we represent are G&W Electric, GE Grid Automation, SAI Switchgear, Magnetron Transformers, HiReli Cables, and ABB Power Conversion Products. Part of the value-added reselling that we do is we supply some GE controls as well as SEL controls, instrument transformers, and ancillary training and services with our PEs on staff. HiReli is involved in bulk power distribution and protection systems. Some of the folks that we deal with are electric utilities, public power, distributors, contractors, and the commercial industrial customers. Like I said earlier, HiReli offers a large customer-facing technical sales with 4 PEs on staff. We work with customers not only as a supplier of equipment, but as a technical resource in areas of application, training, and services. Some of the things we do, we develop automation programs and recommended settings. We do forensic reviews to identify corrective actions and risk mitigation. And my favorite thing on the left is our demo trailer. It's one of my little baby, I'll call it. I worked on this project when I first started with HiReli about 8 years ago. And what we do with that trailer is we take it around. We do a lot of training with linemen. And it's just very good, you know, to put your hands on things and just get to know the products better. We love to do lunch and learns. Even we'll do breakfast type things, some donuts, some coffee, and it is available. So if you guys have any interest in having a trailer demo, please reach out via the chat or Sarah, and she will get us in contact. And we would love to bring it by and do a lunch and learn or any training that you see fit. To the right there is most of our team, even though we've expanded some in the last year or so, but right there and our CEO right in the, and the VP of HiReli Supply, which I'll show you on a different picture. But so the HiReli Supply division, that was established in 2016. And like I alluded to earlier, that's the value-added reselling part of our company, where we provide equipment, including engineer services and technical support. HiReli can also offer both Tier 1 and Tier 2 WBE content. We are a certified woman-owned business. And the left picture there, we have Dunya Krause, who's the VP or the president of HiReli Supply. And then to the right there is Ellen Barag, the CEO. In the right picture, we have Dunya Krause again, as well as Betsy Smith now, our marketing manager. These are some of the solutions and services that we offer. And this is big with us, you know, feet on the ground right in the area. So we offer, you know, recommendations for corrective actions and risk mitigation. We do load studies, setting files development, transient studies, relay standards developments. And some of the education and training we do with our PEs is customized power system protection. We'll do online or in classroom activities, multiple levels from beginning to advanced. We offer variable engineering consulting and testing services as well. And with that, I'm going to kick it over to Chris Mueller to tell you a little bit about Magnetron and their offerings.
Yep. All right, thanks, Mike. So yeah, as he said, my name's Chris Mueller. I'm one of the sales engineers with HiReli. So I'm going to walk you through this section, which goes over our Magnetron Transformers line. So we'll start off with a quick company overview of Magnetron. On this slide, you can see the various manufacturing facilities that Magnetron has occupied over the years. Magnetron is a Colombian business owned privately and operated by a family that has been in the industry for decades. They actually started out as a Westinghouse transformer manufacturer before Westinghouse went under. And at that point, when Westinghouse went under, the owners actually purchased the operation in Colombia and then began their business as the newly formed Magnetron. Also, so you can see some quick overview details on this slide. Magnetron does a lot of business in the electrical utility sector and in the oil and gas sectors as well. Those are some of their key markets. And more recently, they've been focusing heavily on solar installations throughout the world as those new renewable projects are picking up more steam. And in some of the future slides, you'll see a few pictures of their transformers out in the field, and I'll give you some more details about those projects. On top of that, Magnetron also has about 720 employees now. They might still be expanding, and they're spread out through a couple facilities in Colombia, and I believe they have about 70 engineers on staff. So they have a large team of engineers who are extremely qualified to assist with lots of custom projects. And of course, HiReli can assist with our team of professional engineers as well. And the last detail is their main regions that they serve are in Latin America, the US, and the Middle East. So moving along, here you can see a quick breakdown of the transformers that Magnetron can offer. They manufacture everything from pole-top transformers to pad mount transformers to substation transformers. And also visible here, you have some dry type transformers on the right, and then another standard pole-top transformer. Those dry transformers, which I mentioned, are pretty huge if you're in an environmentally sensitive area and you don't want any issues with oil spilling or any sort of issues with the insulation that you get with a standard oil transformer. And then at the bottom, that figure there, the capacity of Magnetron is they can manufacture quite a few transformers per month, so about 208,000 to 300,000 kVA per month. And moving along, so here are a few of the transformer types that Magnetron can manufacture. So on the left there, you have a 1700 kVA pad mounted oil transformer, and that's actually at the Stillwater 2 site in Nevada. It's part of a 25 megawatt solar installation. So it's a pretty huge project on US soil, and it's now powering, thousands of customer meters. So we're absolutely in the Northeast as well. We're interested in working on solar projects. So we can certainly help to get you guys quotes and work on renewable installations with Magnetron and to help customize a solution that fits your individual needs for your projects. And then also pictured on this slide on the right is quite a large substation transformer. And you'll see that the ratings on both these transformers that they can manufacture are listed from 500 to 5,000 kVA. Magnetron actually can go larger with substation transformers. I believe they go up to about 10 MVA on substation transformers. And then here you see some more transformer types. So on the left there, you'll see a 750 kVA submersible network transformer. And that's actually, HiReli is currently working on a pretty large project to get these type of transformers installed in New York at a major electrical utility. So that's a pretty big project for us. And Magnetron has a lot of experience with those network transformers. Also pictured on the right, we have some phase shift transformers and also step-up transformers. So a variety of applications for various transformer types that can fit your needs. And then here for those transformers that we just showed, we have some standard features that Magnetron can customize for their customers. So the whole point that I want to drive here is that we can be flexible with designs and alter those designs to meet specific needs. So these transformers can come with standard aluminum windings on the interior, which of course will be less expensive than copper, but the transformer footprint will also usually be larger in that case. So you have options to upgrade to copper windings, also other options such as different type of oil. They supply mineral oil as a standard insulator, but you can also upgrade that to vegetable oil if you want. And of course, the tanks can be swapped out from mild steel to stainless steel if you're looking for a more robust design. So there's a lot of customizability there on relatively simple transformers. So moving along on this slide, we have some dry type transformers. On the left is a cast resin transformer, and then on the right is what you'd call an open winding transformer, where there's it's pretty much visible to the outside. And so with these dry type transformers, as I mentioned, these are great for areas where you want a minimal environmental impact. And you don't want to worry about oil insulation. It's basically a solid state device that is doesn't have moving parts and doesn't really require some of the extra safety features that some oil transformers require. And usually all these advantages are tied to a higher price than a standard oil transformer. But Magnetron has experience and expertise in manufacturing all sorts of transformers. And with that, we have the features for the dry type transformers. And so this is basically the same as the other features and options slide. Similar components that can be swapped around. So you'll have aluminum windings, which you can swap out for copper. And then you can go between which type of dry type transformer you want, whether it's a cast resin type or open windings. And also, of course, the enclosure, again, you can choose between mild or stainless steel tanks. So we have those options there if you're looking for them. And then, so on this slide, we have a custom transformer skid that Magnetron has manufactured. This specific skid style can be fully assembled and tested and then delivered by Magnetron as what's essentially a site-ready package by Magnetron. And so below you can see the dimensions on the skids available. So they're up to 2.5 meters in height and then up to about 7 meters in length. And you can throw multiple transformers into that skid depending on what sort of layout you're looking for. So it's a really cool sort of modular design where you can get everything delivered in one location and one setup that meets the needs you're looking for. And that's all for Magnetron, short and sweet with the Transformers. So if we're all set, I will throw it over to Manoj, who's our manager of customer support, to talk about SAI.
Thanks, Chris, and good morning, everyone. Just wanted to, again, introduce myself. I'm Manoj Bandhu, Manager of Customer Support at HiReli. I'll be going over two manufacturers that we represent. That's SAI Advance Power Solutions and the ABB battery charging systems. So we'll get started with SAI. Some of you may not be too familiar with SAI. They have been in business for over 100 years. They're based in the Chicago area, and they've been providing, innovative and performance excellence over the past 100 years. They moved recently into the newest facility. It's state-of-the-art facility, and they have really fine-tuned their manufacturing process and to give us the ability to ship their products in like some of the best lead times in the industry for these type of products. So with that said, I'm going to be discussing the three different types of gear that they provide. It's low voltage switchboards, which are essentially 891 UL 891 switchboards. I'm also going to be discussing low voltage switch gear, which is the UL 1558, and the medium voltage options that they have. So SAI has kind of divvied up their low voltage switchboards into basically a Series 1, Series 2, and Series 3. On this slide, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Series 1 and the Series 2. Again, the UL 891 Series 1 goes up to about 4,000 amps, and the Series 2 goes to about 6,000 amps. Pretty much similar applications, but the Series 1 uses more group-mounted molded case circuit breakers in combination with a insulated case circuit breaker as the main service entrance breaker. The Series 2 uses a mixture of insulated case and molded case, and they have common applications, except that the Series 2 is used more for the paralleling and breaker transfer applications, and in situations where the group-mounted interiors are not sufficient for the applications. As you can see in the pictures, there's a big difference in size from the group-mounted versus the Series 2. And in the next slide, Chris, we will see the Series 3, which is is basically insulated case circuit breakers, fixed mount or draw out. This kind of compares very closely to a low voltage switch gear, the 1558, but it's more from a cost savings point of view. A lot of customers would want to use the 891 from a cost standpoint. Again, very similar applications. Service entrance, metering, powering, breaker transfer. So again, the size, if you look at the size of this, these are, they go up to like 90 inches high, and the lineup can go over many sections. Next slide. So the low voltage switch gear, 1558, as you can see, it goes up to 10,000 amps. They use insulated case circuit breakers only, and they are draw out. So this is a compartmentalized option, whereas the 891 is not really compartmentalized. So it's like comparing in medium voltage, if you compare metal enclosed to metal clad. This is the metal clad version of the low voltage switch gear. Again, similar applications, and also used in critical installations where safety and reliability are key elements. Next slide. So we start talking about medium voltage. So this is NC metal-clad switchgear up to 2,000 amps, but SAI has a unique offering in the slim vac. So they use certain types of breakers, ABB and Eaton breakers, and this gives us a much smaller footprint than your traditional metal-clad offering. I think we're down to about 24 inches to 26 inches on the compartments. Common applications, again, it's service entrance, substation, primarily large scale distribution, and also used in a lot of data center applications. Again, critical installations, and where small footprint is key, especially in the data centers. Next slide. So this is the arc resistant version of the slim vac. Again, they use the one type of breaker, which is like a LIS breaker, which is like an LG breaker. Common again, same common applications as the slim vac regular, except this is arc resistant. Again, small footprint is a key. Now, if you look at the picture, you'll see a yellow skid below the switchgear. SAI offers this as an option, meaning that the switchgear will come fully assembled on the skid before it leaves the factory. And this basically saves a ton of time and money in the field when the switchgear is being commissioned and installed. So there's a huge savings, in terms of cost. And SAI can offer this across any of their product lines. So you can put low voltage gear on the skid as well. So it's a customized option, and it's something that can really contribute to cost savings in a project. Then we have your traditional metal clad, and again, it's kind of breaker agnostic, meaning we can supply with just about any breaker or combinations of breakers. For example, your 15 kV goes up to 4,000 amps, 31.5 kA. It's assembled with Schneider, ABB, Eaton, Siemens, all at 15 kV. There is a 38 kV version as well that goes up to 3,000 amps. And again, using Schneider, Eaton, Siemens, and the LG breaker. And these have traditional footprint, your 36-inch wide sections, your traditional metal-clad switchgear. Next slide. So one thing that's pretty unique about SAI is that they offer the general controls, but they're very good at providing solutions for customized control systems. This slide basically shows their paralleling gear, but they are also well equipped to handle just about any automation or control system, and they'll customize your solution, something that the majors kind of shy away from. So this is where they play very well in the market. And if there's applications that requires customized programming, PLCs, etc., they are ready to take on that application and provide a solution. So moving on to ABB, I'll be talking about the battery charging systems with ABB. So which battery systems, which battery chargers are we talking about? So this slide shows a typical e-house or substation control house. So we have the medium voltage gear, we have the low voltage switch gear, UPS, transfer switches, switchboards, panel boards, and the battery chargers as well. So if you look at the red box there, that's where your battery chargers kind of play in the whole e-house. Very small part of the e-house, but a very critical part of the e-house, as these battery chargers provide charge to your battery banks, and that's required. If there's a power failure, you have your batteries take over, and all the DC applications within the substation as well. So ABB's family of power conversion products include the battery chargers that are wall mounted, such as in utility substation and the e-houses that we looked at in the earlier slide. There's also the DC power systems, which are your larger floor mounted racks for larger utility substations and power generating facilities. And then there's also the rack mounted applications in the Infinity Industrial product. These are for applications where telecom communications are required. So the rack mounted option is also available. Each of these products, again, uses switch mode technology and gives you an efficiency of between 94 to 97%, all the way down to about 10% of the load. So very, very efficient, rectifier technology. So going a little more in detail with the battery chargers, it offers a modular design and advanced controller with secure protocols. A very important feature of the battery chargers. Input ranges again from 120 volts AC to 277 volts AC, 3 single phase or 3 phase from 380 to 480 volts, typical industrial type voltage. Outputs obviously range from 24 volts DC to up to 125 volts DC. And again, it has a very small footprint. It's like about 28 inches high, 23 inches wide, and about 14 inches deep, the wall-mounted units. The next slide will show you the floor-mounted units. Again, this is a modular design, gives you the ability to have multiple independent voltage outputs. I'm sorry. For example, you can have a combination of a 48 volts output and a 125 volt output. And in the picture, this shows you the 2 different versions that you have. Again, physical dimensions, 24 inches wide, 26 inches deep, and about 84 inches high. So they're much taller than your wall-mounted units. So the Infinity industrial systems, the rack-mounted units, are used again for like telecom applications. It ranges from 90. Input ranges from 90 to about 310 volts DC. So it's a wide range with outputs from 24 volts up, and 48 volts DC. So again, these are very highly configurable systems, and it basically it's very customized. It's very customizable to the user's requirements. Design mounted racks, in 19-inch, 23-inch racks, and can range from about 3.5 inches to a full frame height of 84 inches. So very flexible in its offering. Next slide, please. Yeah. So what are some of the unique features of the battery charging systems? The highly efficient one with high reliability, and all while not compromising the security of your system. They're modular in design, so it allows you for future growth of your system, and multiple different modules per unit. It also allows for the addition of redundancy in your system, so you can have like an N+1 redundancy. The hot swappable, meaning that if there's a module that has to be replaced or repaired, it can actually just be switched out while your system stays online. Again, very small footprint, so this helps, in the tight spaces like an e-house. Not much space in the e-house. There's lots of stuff that goes into an e-house, so the small footprint allows us to provide solutions to match that kind of application. And then there's battery health system. You can have the ability to operate and with advanced monitoring and control system from a remote location. So next slide. Oh, sorry, not next slide. This is the last slide. So if failing to meet the NERC requirements, the NERC standards can prove to be very costly for any customer. So the advanced controller capabilities, allows a customer to meet these NERC requirements. It's simple to operate, advanced monitoring and control system that can perform and log the NERC required tests and data points. The advanced controller offers secure protocols such as SNP3, HTTPS, SSL, SSH, giving you NERC compliance with full remote access. Some of the standard battery management features include float boost, mode control, battery discharge, testing, and stope thermal compensation. So a very robust product which gives you tons of options in terms of modular design and meeting the necessary NERC requirements. I think that brings us to the end of the presentation. And if there's any questions, I'm not sure. Are there any questions?
Yes, Manoj, we did have a question in the chat. The question was, is the 6000A switchboard UL listed or recognized?
The switchboard, yeah, if it was a switchboard, yes, it's a UL 891.
Are there any other questions out there for the HiReli team this morning? It's always tough. Everyone's on the spot thinking of questions. Well, I'd like to thank you all for an excellent presentation. Very interesting products that you were able to talk about today, and they're highly reliable, right, guys?
That's right.
Yes,
I learned
for
that,
sure.
right? I love that play on words in the company name. Well, listen, I don't see any other questions going through the chat. Mike, is there anything else you'd like to just leave everybody with today?
I just appreciate everybody getting on, and thank you, Sarah. And glad to see that we were able to do the last one for you. Save the best for last.
Exactly. Well, we greatly appreciate it. We'll be sharing the recording with everyone. I hope everyone enjoys the day. Stay cool. It's going to be hot out there. It's going to be like summer today, but hopefully you guys can enjoy it. All right,
Thanks,
everyone.
Sarah.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All right.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.